Hi, this is Faisal Sadat, and I will be answering some questions uh, of the assignment. And this assignment is lesson 6. So we first go to the first question. How do you connect Node.js to PostgreSQL? And what are the benefits over in-memory storage? So first, how do we connect our Node.js to the PostgreSQL? We can do it by two ways so far we have learned. One is by Postgres by itself, which is with the pooling, we install pool and then we install PG packages and then we import pool, and that was the part of the last lesson. But in this lesson, we install Prisma and we import a Prisma client, and then we connect Prisma client, Node.js through Prisma client, and do the database connection. What are the benefits or in-memory? So before we had in-memory array for tasks and for users, and whenever the server was restarting, we lost all the data in the memory. So show the database connection set up in DB Prisma. Okay, so Prisma, first we install Prisma and then import the Prisma client, and whenever we execute the Prisma client, it connects the Node.js to the PostgreSQL or the database. Connection pooling is the Prisma reuses the database connection instead of connecting node to the database on each request. It saves time, it saves request, and it can be used for multiple users at the same time. Okay, so walk through the database schema and explain foreign keys relationship. So this is Prisma schema, and in Prisma we have a database URL. It will be taken from the env file. So in this file we have two models. One model is for user, the other model is for tasks. And the left column we see ID, email, name, and hash password. These are the columns on the database. We can see it on in the PostgreSQL. These are the type of the data we are storing in the column, and these are the constraints which prevents certain data types to be entered into the column or into the input. So a relationship of the user and the task is one to many. One user can have multiple tasks in the task table, and it is shown as an array on the user model, and it is shown as a relation on the task model, which says field, it is connected to the user ID by the user ID, which is this column, and the reference is the ID on the user model or uh, user table. It also has a unique property. It says each user and user ID and the task ID create a unique ID which does not duplicate itself. What's an ORM and how does Prisma improve database operation? ORM is object relation mapper, and it improves uh, database operation. Like when through the Prisma, we will be working on a JavaScript object instead of writing down raw SQL queries. Show Prisma schema file and explain uh, the model definition. So I just did, it is the Prisma schema, and these are the model definitions. Demonstrate the difference between RAW-SQL queries and Prisma methods. So in RAW-SQL, we can create different queries like select static or all columns from tasks table where the user ID is 1 or 2 or 3, and this is the RAW-SQL. On the explain the model definition and Prisma methods. So Prisma methods is doing the same thing underneath, but with the Prisma, we can access that on the first we have to create schema, and once we have created schema, we can access these by calling find unique or find or group by. We can access them like this. Also, we can specify which columns do we want to include, constraints, what do we want to take from this query, and what are the limitations. Show the Prisma handle relationship, include and select. So include and select will be the next sections, the lesson 7's topics, but include is for the left or right joins, and select means uh, what fields do you want to select from the query. Select type safety and complete benefits. So once we using Prisma, we can autocomplete our fields by taking them from on dot, or the VS Code will give us autocomplete uh, facilities. How do you transform RASQL queries to Prisma operations? So in the RASQL query, whenever we want to select static or select certain fields, we do it like this. Select is key, and in the value we give we give an object. Not an object, is like with the key value pairs, and we have seen in the RASQL the where ID. The word where, it is used like it is used over here. We want to select a task where the ID of this task is equal to task ID, and the user ID is global ID. Okay, so when we creating tasks, we can do the same thing uh, like we were doing in the RISE-SQL. So we pass a data, and data should be fields they are in the schema. So in the schema task, anything that is ID title is complete and user ID. So the required field should be in the data, which is user ID and title. And if it doesn't have is completed, it will be false by automatic. Also, we had the return key on the RASQL query. Over here, we use the select key, and we pass an object of the key values with the ID, title, and is complete. It will be returned. We can use it later. Show Prisma handle error codes and validation. So if we try to create a user with the same name, with the same email or duplicate email, the database will throw an error, which is in the database specific codes. But over here, if we create, like, let's say, go to the register and where Prisma to public users. users control. So if we go to user control, and if we register a user which is already registered, it will throw an error. This is register. So we will have to handle that error. If the error code is 200, 2002 or 2002, that means the email already existed. So we can use it by try catch. Say the generator is my client and its method. So I just showed you these things. So this was the question on the video submission part. Hope I have covered all the topics and hope I have uh, submitted a clear understanding of the topics. Thank you.